Mandy Moore, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm not going to lie. When I found out we booked you for the show, I told my producer, how many Princess Diaries questions can I ask before Mandy tells me to fuck off?
No, you can ask all the questions. If I have an answer, I'll certainly tell you. But man, that was like almost 25 years ago.
No.
Yeah.
Not
like
possible.
2000, we're talking.
That's crazy.
I know.
It does not feel that long. Does it feel that long ago for you?
In some ways, sure. It feels like that was a different person who lived then. But in other ways, yeah, it just feels like it was yesterday. Strange.
I hate to go off topic here right off the bat, but did I see that you have a furry friend?
Yes, we have multiple furry friends, and they're probably going to all want to be on camera because that's just what they do.
Perfect. I don't know if you know this, but I have a constant battle going on with my husband about when the time will be that we are allowed to get a cat. He doesn't care for cats and has told our kids that they're poisonous.
Oh, really?
Yes. To be clear, he had a cat growing up that he loved very much. Sure. And she was a badass. She would like catch birds in the backyard in midair. And he was very impressed by her.
So what happened?
He's convinced we don't need a cat. Regardless, we will get a cat. We have a whole plan. But I do like to just tag in every so often and be like, oh, cat lover? Great.
Yeah, cat lover. Perfect. We have 3 cats here. In fact, I had to my husband had to come around. He did not grow up with cats. He was a strictly dog household. And he sort of inherited these animals when we started dating. And now he's like a full cat person. I
truly believe I think they sniff it out, honestly. I think they're like, I need to break this guy down.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on him for a little bit.
Once they choose their person and once a cat chooses a man, forget it. They're a puddle.
Yeah.
They love cats.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Good
for
luck
that support.
With that.
I will need it. What movie would you say is the movie that people ask you about the most?
Probably A Walk to Remember or Princess Diaries. One of the two. It sort of depends on if people are sort of relating back to their own childhood and sort of the nostalgia that they have wrapped up in A Walk to Remember versus like maybe their kids discovering Princess Diaries for the first time. So it just depends on what chapter of their life that they're in. And
we did see that Princess Diaries 3 is officially happening.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume that your character will not be making a return if you're saying that's what you heard.
I mean,
or can you not tell us that?
No. I would totally be honest with you.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I had heard that there was maybe an idea to have my character sort of make a bit of a cameo, but that was months ago. I haven't heard anything since. Who knows? I mean, I would be game. I'd love for there to be some sort of redemptive storyline. Like maybe my character is working with like an animal rescue or something. Like hopefully she's made something good of her life. Right? Totally. Like she's sort of like come around and she's actually a good person and she peaked in high school and maybe that like gave her some, I don't know. She
got humbled after high school and now she's doing great.
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping for if I return.
I'll cross my fingers and toes for that to happen.
Yeah.
I hope so. Maybe we could manifest it right now. Everyone heard it. That's what we would like.
We're manifesting it.
Yes. All right. The last Princess Diaries question, I promise. I was doom scrolling your Instagram in preparation for this conversation, and I saw you post about the denim suit you wore to the Princess Diaries premiere in 2001.
Yeah.
Were you going for the cool casual look, or did you?
Kylie. Honestly, I can't tell you what I was thinking. And I would say that about the majority of like my hair and makeup choices and wardrobe choices back then. I mean, I know that like the late 90s and 2000s have really been circling back again. And I see all the stuff on TikTok with like butterfly clips and chokers and stuff. And I wasn't really there for it then. So I can't say that I get behind it now either. But I guess I was going for like business casual as a 16-year-old. Like it was terrible. It was this like light denim sort of chambray-ish suit. It was bad. And I think I wore like a black tank top. Like it was just clearly no one was helping me get dressed. That was all me. Bad across the board.
I think it's really big of you to take on full responsibility of that.
Yeah, no, I cannot blame that on anybody else. That was purely my choice, as a lot of those choices were. I mean, I look back at like the candy video. Someone helped me get dressed for that, but it was like, who allowed me to have my hair like that? It was ridiculous. It wasn't even popular at that time, so I can't even blame it on like, oh, well, you know, MAC glittery lip gloss. Like that was the thing. It was like, no one was wearing their hair like that. That was a choice all by me, I guess.
I do love that on your Instagram, you put up throwbacks over the years and you've called yourself out for some of these fashion choices. I
feel like I need to bring that around again. It's so hard. I mean, you know, like being a mom now, my Instagram has really taken a hit in terms of like the content of me, like really digging up old photos. But I feel like I need to bring that back around again. It's important to humble yourself.
I mean, just to name a few. The dyed eyebrows, blonde, red eyeliner was a good one.
Red eyeliner.
I personally really enjoyed the zigzag part.
The zigzag part with the like little crystals with the eyelash glue that you would put like in. Yeah, yes. It was a time, the late 90s. We got away with a lot. Yeah. I mean, I'm a fair bit older than you. So you were a wee baby when all of this was happening. But yeah, it was not
I was old enough to remember all of it vividly.
I'm sorry about that.
I'd love to circle back to your acting career.
Sure.
Because you went from pop star to being a big time actress very fast. I think everyone was obsessed with A Walk to Remember. I remember when that came out. I mean, an unbelievable amount of tears, just a lot. But before you've said, I believe that this is one of the roles you're most proud of.
Yeah. I was a big Nicholas Sparks fan. I had read a few of his books and when the opportunity came along to audition for this, I was just so hopeful that things would go my way. I loved this story and, you know, to eventually get the part and be a part of telling this story was just like a real boon. It's something that I feel very proud of. And it's just incredible that it's a project that like young people are still discovering. I mean, again, we made this in 2001. It came out in 2002. And the fact that like, you know, young people are still discovering it to this day is, it's just not lost on me. It's very, very sweet how people still feel connected to this story and those characters. And, my husband has still never seen the movie. I think he lied the other day and told somebody was like, A Walk to Remember, so sad. He's like, yeah, so sad. I'm like, Dad, you've never seen it, but yeah. So that's funny. Maybe one day we'll have like group viewing with our kids when they get older and Taylor can watch it for the first time too.
A little watch party.
Yeah, a little watch party.
I've also shared on this show, when I had Kate Hudson on, that I love a rom-com. And you've been in some great ones.
Thank you.
Do you have a favorite rom-com that you've been in?
That I've been in? Oof.
Yes.
I mean,
I loved License to Wed.
Really? Oh my God. Yes. No one ever says that. That's very sweet of you, Kylie. I had a lot of fun working on that because Robin Williams, the greatest.
Yep.
You know what? I love Because I Said So. It's this film I did with Diane Keaton. I mean, it's Diane Keaton. Yes. She's just like, you know, on a pedestal to me. And the fact that like I got to work with her, she played my mom. Like, I mean, that was such a bucket list experience. I love a good rom-com.
It was also such a sweet messaging, like the Because I Said So.
Yeah.
Like watching the relationship with you and her, and then the idea that like how many times as a kid were you told by your mom because I said so?
Have you started saying that yet?
Her catchphrase. I cannot. I'm still in the why phase of children. I've tried to hit them with the because I said so, and it doesn't sink in.
Yeah. Doesn't resonate yet.
They keep hitting me with, well, why? And I'm like, I was really hoping that was going to end this little thing we're doing.
Sure. This back and forth.
We're not there yet.
For sure. Yeah. I'm not there either. I have little. So Because I Said So would just not translate whatsoever.
Doesn't land.
No.
It doesn't land yet.
No.
It's been a while since you've starred in a rom-com.
Yeah.
Would you ever do it again?
Absolutely. I feel like with the success of shows like Nobody Wants This, I feel like rom-coms are starting to kind of like resurface again. And again, I'm an older lady now. So I'm excited to potentially see more stories for people my age of like people at this juncture of their life, in parenthood and maybe like second marriages, like all those sorts of things. Like I'd love to see that reflected on screen. So yeah, I would sign up to do another rom-com in a heartbeat.
Now, when you were in This Is Us, which is another, just makes you feel those deep, deep emotions so strongly.
Yeah.
I heard that was the first time you changed a diaper and learned how to swaddle. Is this correct?
That is correct, Kylie. I did not grow up around babies. I skipped this sort of babysitting phase of life and started working too young. So yeah, by the time I got on This Is Us, I was in my early 30s. I'd never changed a diaper and didn't know how to swaddle. And so sweet Milo, who played my husband, had lots of nieces and nephews and had a ton of experience under his belt. So he was actually showing me before we were on camera, like showing me with these sweet babies how to do all of that, which came in handy just a few years later when I had my own kids. But yeah, I didn't know anything.
Don't feel bad about that, because I had changed a diaper, but I learned from my maternity nurse how to swaddle.
I still don't know how to swaddle.
The minute we leave the hospital, I'm like, don't be a swaddle kid. Because if you are a swaddle kid, I'm going to have to take you back there at least 3 times a day to get it done right.
They're so quick, right? In postpartum, they're just like,
they're so good. And then all of a sudden they hand you this little baby burrito and you're like, how am I supposed to recreate that? They never get loose from theirs. Every single time I do it, their hands end up here.
They just manage to find a little handout.
Yes.
I know. All of my babies were like Houdinis. They could always manage to get out of a swaddle. So, and I never really learned. And so then I quickly transitioned into sort of like the Velcro ones.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Right? I'd say like a top tip for moms, like you get the Velcro swaddles.
That's it. There's a reason why that market has boomed. It's because no one besides a labor and delivery nurse can really swaddle a baby and keep them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
I'm with you.
I bet you it was a labor and delivery nurse that was like, you know, who needs this? And they're the ones who, right? Yeah. They're like, this is a business. They know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd love to talk about motherhood with you some more. I always tell people my hardest transition, I believe, was no kids to 1 kid.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you feel similarly, or do you have a transition like was 2 to 3 crazy for you guys?
No. I mean, sure. Yes, absolutely.
Right. You add another human.
Of
sure.
Course.
Yeah.
Somebody said
small task.
Somebody was like, how is it going from 2 to 3? And then I'm sure you've heard this before. It's like drowning and someone throwing you a baby. You're just,
that's accurate.
You're absolutely overwhelmed. But I agree with you that 0 to 1 was by far the hardest transition. You just don't know what you don't know.
Nothing.
At least like from 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3, you're like, okay, like I have a vague understanding of what to look out for. I'm not as stressed. I'm a little bit more confident in like what I'm bringing to the table. But yeah, 0 to 1 is just like your life is just blown up.
I also say they can smell fear. Oh, yeah. So like the first time around, I swear they like our first was so sweet with my mom because my mom was confident.
Sure.
And then she would hand her back to me and I'm like, why is it yelling?
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. I love the adage calm is contagious because babies do really pick up on that. I think you're right. They smell fear and they recognize confidence. So like trying to go in with like that calm, confident air is obviously going to be the most helpful.
And your third you had at 40, is that right?
Yes. I was like, wait, yes. I just turned 41 in April. So yes, I had her at 40.
Did you get a lot of opinions on that?
Yes and no. I mean, I feel like, having my third child at 40, and this term geriatric pregnancy that's thrown around. I think there, at least in my experience, so many of my friends are having kids later in life, and it's, whether it's by choice or it's by circumstance or biology. I think the thing that I had the most trouble with is just like this system in general, kind of treating us as this anomaly that we're like too old and we're too complicated or high risk. And really it's like, no, we're just human beings. And I feel like it's just such an outdated label. So it's less about how I think the people and the perceptions they may have had, like the people in my life. It was just more about the healthcare system in general. Just it feels like such an outdated one size fits all approach when it comes to just women in general. I don't know if you're younger, obviously, but just if you felt that experience at all.
No, I do think that we have fallen so short when it comes to women's health in so many aspects. Mm-hmm. But it really is. I do think part of that is the idea that it is one size fits all, that everyone is sort of going to be put in the same track. And if you stray from that track at all, that there's very little correction. Yeah. Because they just assume that if you're not this on the track, then you're like severely off.
Of course. And like, I think the fact that we make up 50% of the population, we give birth to the entire population. And I think, becoming a mom and going through 3 pregnancies now, it's like just women in general and our health it's such an afterthought, and our bodies are treated as such an afterthought. And, I actually partnered with this company Parallel last year when I was pregnant with Lou. And I love that there are these companies like Parallel that are really focused on rewriting the rules of what it looks like to care for women, and advocating for funding of women's health. Because I think from 2013 to 2023, just 8% of the NIH funding went towards the study of women's health. Just 8%. Like, it's crazy. So really it's just about, acknowledging that we're not invisible, and we're doing such an important job out there for the world in general.
Mandy Moore was not expecting this, and honestly, neither were fans. During a recent appearance on the Kylie Kelce podcast, what started as a light and nostalgic conversation quickly took an emotional turn that no one saw coming. Mandy Moore was casually reflecting on her career, sharing stories about her early days and iconic roles. But behind the smiles, something deeper was building. Then came the moment that changed everything. In a surprising and heartfelt gesture, Taylor Swift stepped in, delivering a message that instantly shifted the tone of the entire conversation. It wasn't loud or dramatic, but it was deeply personal. The kind of message that hits you when you least expect it. And that's when it happened. Mandy Moore, visibly overwhelmed, couldn't hold back her emotions. The room fell silent as she tried to process what had just been said. For fans watching, it wasn't just another celebrity interaction. It felt raw, real, and incredibly rare. Sources close to the podcast reveal that this moment wasn't planned. It was genuine, a quiet but powerful reminder of the respect and admiration shared between artists who've shaped generations. And now, fans are asking one question. What exactly did Taylor Swift say that brought Mandy Moore to tears? Because whatever it was, it clearly meant everything.